Hey guys, it's Marissa. So I haven't done like a sit down and just kind of chat with you guys kind of video in a very long time, but basically I'm just kind of going to just go over what has been happening in my life, especially like this past summer, like why I just haven't been posting that much specifically on YouTube. And first off, like with YouTube videos, everyone knows this who does videos and just post content on here, specifically on this platform. It usually takes a lot longer and just a lot more time in general just to edit videos, to record it, to kind of put like a strategic plan on like what kind of content you're wanting to post other than other platforms like TikTok and stuff. You can just impulsively record something for 15 seconds and literally just post it, and then there you go, because the algorithms are literally just like so different from each other. So I've just been kind of unmotivated to record on YouTube just because I haven't really had that time to, even if I wanted to, just because of all of this college stuff going on. And I kind of never really talked about it because I wasn't really sure where it was all going. But now that I kind of have it set in stone of where I'm going to college, I can kind of talk about my experiences with these other colleges I've been to. And the first one I guess I'll talk about is Michigan State, because that was literally, and it still is, like my dream school to go to. I was planning on going to Michigan State and moving from my house to like an on-campus apartment or off-campus somewhere over in Lansing back in like winter of 2022, which is like spring semester. So that's in like January and stuff. I'm trying to word this as good as possible too, because I don't want to come off like rude or trying to seem hateful to like any of these schools. Like that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just like trying to vent like my experience with all of these other colleges now that I'm not going to a community college anymore, because I went to Macomb and I've had like no problems at Macomb until I finally wanted to transfer over after I got my associate's degree. And a lot of people probably have gone through like similar things as me, but to this point, like I'm just like so fed up with how colleges have been treating like students, especially transfer students, for me specifically. And it's just like, I don't know what else to do other than just like bring awareness on it, because I just think it's kind of ridiculous. So I applied to Michigan State. I got accepted. I also got accepted previously back in 2018, but I just wanted to go to a community college just to save on money a little bit and just, just get those gen ed credits before transferring over. So that's what I did. So I got accepted for spring of 2022. I was trying to figure everything out, and apparently my application was on a like old system because they were like redoing the entire system for, I don't know, just like staff purposes or something, just so it can be easier for them. It definitely was not easier. They basically kept telling me because I was on the old system, there were some students that applied for the same semester that were also on the new system. So there was like a chunk of students like me that were on the old system that were accepted, and then there was like another chunk that was on the new system that were accepted as well. Because I was on this old system, it was like giving them a hard time about sending me information and stuff, which I get it, but I would always make numerous phone calls to like all of these different people. It would be admissions, financial aid, and my advisor, specifically my advisor. So my advisor was in the arts and sciences building. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say his name, so I'm just gonna say it starts with an A. That's all I'm gonna say. I literally have called so many times and I never would get responses back. So I was accepted at this school, but no one was contacting me to let me know what my next steps were. I even missed orientation because my admissions counselor did not tell me what I was supposed to do. And then whenever I would get to call him, like whenever I was able to actually reach him, he would literally just straight up tell me right over the phone, hey, I'm busy, call again later. Or he would just hang up on me before I could even say anything. Like, it was literally so ridiculous. It just never, I think I maybe talked to him twice, and both times it did not get me anywhere, even though I explained the situation of how hard it was to reach out to him. I've even told like admissions how hard it was to reach out to my advisor, and they said that they were not responsible. It was my advisor who was responsible for setting me up for orientation, the classes, etc. So I finally brought it to someone else's attention. They did not seem to care as well. They just said it was up to him, nobody else. And because of that, I was not able to go to Michigan State because basically I was accepted, but my advisor did not want to communicate with me at all. And I was pretty disappointed because like that was literally my dream school to go to. Like that's where I was planning to go to ever since I got out of high school. Even before I got out of high school, that's where I really wanted to go. So I was like completely still kind of upset about it. Like I still have a little bit of a grudge, but there's really nothing I can do about it now. But basically I was just kind of, you know, really disappointed because I'm basically being led on by the school because I'm accepted, but no one's wanting to tell me how to go on from being accepted. Like I can't sign up for orientation. I missed everything. Now all of the classes are full. And then by the time I even reached out to him, there was literally no housing anywhere. So then I went to Western. I transferred over, or I was applying to Western University, and everything seemed to be going smoothly until up to the point where it was time for moving in, because I got accepted for the on-campus apartments. And oh my gosh, that was a whirlwind within itself. That was extremely stressful. I'm still kind of going through a little bit of like the after effects from it, like just financially, because when you sign for a lease, you still, that's literally a contract and stuff. So I'm still trying to get through that and get it sorted out. But you are assigned depending on what kind of apartment you get. I had a 2-bedroom, so I didn't know who this other girl was that I was rooming with. And immediately when I went inside the room, it was completely trashed. There was like, and I'm totally fine for people who smoke pot or do things like that, but literally there was, with my mom literally walking in the door helping me move in, there was literally weed everywhere, like just completely scattered across the floor. And okay, so excuse me for looking like a mess. I'm just in the middle of editing this video right now, but I forgot to mention, depending on like where you're watching this video from, marijuana is legal in Michigan, so that literally is not a problem with me. But my problem was like, even if I was smoking that, like I feel like I would just have it put in a jar somewhere in my room and, you know, stored for later. Like I just feel like it's just very, I don't want to just say unclean, but literally like, if you're spending money on that, why wouldn't you not have it put away somewhere in a jar in your room? And especially if this person was notified that I would be moving in that day, because that was the first day of when people were allowed to move into their apartments. And this person was there before me. They, I don't know how much longer they were there before me, but they were there before me for at least like a good year or so, just by like the looks of it, because there was other people living there too. Literally my only problem was like my mom, as soon as we walked in the door, like that's literally like what my mom first saw. And it's like, okay, it's not really what you want your parents to see when you're moving out of the house for like the first time. Like it was just, it brought on like a lot of emotions just because I was overwhelmed. I don't know about my mom, but I was just like really overwhelmed to begin with, because it's like a 4-hour drive almost from where I live. So it's like, that's the first thing that I come to, and that's where I have to live. Like it's literally, I don't know how to put it into words, but it was just a lot. The way that the apartment looked, I'm not even sure if there was bed bugs there, because on top of the lease, like the little contract that you would receive, there was like a stapled sheet behind that about what to do if you find bed bugs in your apartment. And I'm like, I don't know. I think that's kind of concerning, because obviously they've dealt with this or something, because why would they make like a whole typed out sheet already explaining what to do if you find bed bugs? But I don't know, maybe I'm just like overthinking it, but I thought that was kind of weird before I even moved in. So this girl might have had bed bugs just by the looks of the place. It was really bad, and they really couldn't do anything to accommodate. But the only other accommodation they could do was basically an apartment that was even smaller that I would share with another stranger, which I didn't want to risk again because I didn't know if it was just as bad. And I left this out, but I forgot to actually talk about it. They originally were not going to give me anything at all. Like they argued with me and my mom and basically said like how I felt and just me feeling uncomfortable was just like uncalled for. And she said that basically like I was just being over dramatic. They never even checked or did like a wellness check, or not wellness check, but they never even like checked the apartment, because in the contract it states that the apartments are supposed to be inspected anyways before anyone moves in to any of the rooms, and they clearly did not inspect it. They didn't do it at all. But regardless of that, they did not tell me or my mom, hey, there's another place that you can just go to. So we obviously drove back home. Maybe a week later, then they said, okay, there is a place. This is the location, blah, blah, blah. But it ended up, just by that time, because of like all of the different things that I'll be saying back in the clip, I know I keep like cutting myself out, but because of like all of the stuff, I didn't want to risk it and drive another 4 hours all over again and have like not even 3 days to be completely moved in, which I know I would have been able to work it out, but I don't know, I just felt so uneasy at that point, just because it really wasn't even my very first choice to begin with for school. And I don't know, I was just at that point, I was just so upset and disappointed. I just didn't even want to think about having to trust another person to see if they were gonna have the place already completely trashed. Like, I don't know. So that's how I felt about it. But it was more expensive. It was even farther away from the school I would be going to, because I would be going to the art school there at Western. I honestly just did not feel comfortable at that point, because it was like a 3-hour drive anyways. So me being already like pretty nervous about like moving in and stuff and finally like being independent, and that's like the first thing that I see when I first walk in the door, like it literally just made me so uncomfortable. And I don't know, I just don't see who else wouldn't feel uncomfortable or upset like how I would be. Like, it was just literally, it was so ridiculous. I could go on, but I don't want to give too many details just because I don't know if I can. Yeah, and like one of the last things I'll say about it that I'm adding on, I really don't know if there's like anything else involved, just because her room was locked, and which is fine, but I don't know if there was like anything else there. I have no idea. I did see like multiple people's shoes that were of different sizes, and it was very obvious there was like multiple people living there. So I didn't even feel like I just felt like I was intruding. Like I want to show all the pictures, but I'm not going to, just because it's still obviously being used by that person and I want to respect their privacy. But I'm just going to show like just one picture that doesn't show the house or the apartment. It just shows like the fridge, and basically that's like, that fridge represents basically like the entire apartment. Like, there would have been no room for me at all to put any of my stuff. And when I tried contacting this person through email, they never responded. And I think they just responded once, and it was just immediately put all the utilities in my name, even though it was in their name, which I thought was a little strange. But regardless, it would have been worked out if I did stay there. But yeah, just based off the pictures, or the one picture I'm just going to show, just because I don't want to intrude on the privacy, there was just no room for me at all, even if I really did absolutely try to make it work. Like, there was just no way. So, very disappointing, but that's how my experience turned out to be for the first time, or trying to move out for the first time. Hopefully the next time is better. But I'm finally just going to a different university where I'm just going to be commuting. I don't have to actually live on campus because it is close by. They're actually accepting the most credits out of all the schools as well that I've been accepted from, so that's also a plus. But I'm still pretty nervous about all of this going on, just because now at this point it just seems like there's always something that's popping up that's not making me be eligible to go to a school, even though I'm being told yes. So that's basically what's been going on in my life. I'm just trying to get everything sorted out with classes and stuff, because for me, classes start like the first or second week of September, which is pretty late, but I'm honestly fine with that. But yeah, so that's what's been going on. I just kind of wanted to give like a little bit of a rant if you guys feel like listening, or you know, if you've even made this far into the video, I really appreciate it, because some of you guys really do listen here and just kind of give me some of your advice. And Some of you guys as well are also very just like assuring and just always give me like so much like positive feedback, and it really helps, especially like during times when I'm super stressed out, because that's honestly how I have been like the past, especially this past month. But the entire summer it has been pretty stressful. So I'm hoping like by the time September comes around, everything starts to settle down a little bit more. But it feels kind of weird just sitting in front of like my phone recording this video, because I haven't done that in so long. So sorry if I sound like a little bit nervous. I don't know why, but if I don't do this for a long time, I like kind of forget how to talk to people like through the camera. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's literally how I'm feeling right now. So yeah, that's basically just like a little summary of just what's going on school wise. And on top of that, I am taking like 16 credits for this semester at the school that I'm now currently going to, again for like the 4th time. So I'm hoping that this turns out pretty good. I'm actually majoring in graphic design now that I already have my associates in graphic design. So I'm getting a bachelor's degree in that. And then I also chose to do a minor in criminal justice just because I've always been like interested in that. I know whenever I tell people this, they're like, whoa, those are like two totally separate things. Like they're just so opposite from each other. But I've always liked really doing that. And honestly, I've always been super interested in doing like crime scene investigation or like forensic science. So that's kind of like in the same genre as that degree. At least it's not like a major, it's just a minor in it. So like even though it's not like my main focus, I can still like get some classes out of it and just learn a little bit more information if I ever want to do that as like a plan B down the road in my life after doing graphic design or something like that. But yeah, that's basically everything going on. I hope you guys have been doing well. If you guys want to like rant about something down below, this would be like the perfect video, because honestly I'd like to hear how you guys have been doing. I feel like I have not interacted with anybody on here in so long, so I'm so sorry about that. But I hope you guys are doing well, and whoever else is going back to school, I'm hoping it's not as stressful as how it has been with me, because on top of all of that, I'm not even going to get started with the financial aid part, because I've won a few scholarships, which is nice, but having them transferred from school to school to school, like literally these scholarship people are probably like getting ticked off at me at this point, and I do not blame them. Yeah, it's been very fun, but I'm hoping to go back to doing makeup videos again for you guys. And I'm also thinking about like expanding some of the videos on here just so I can kind of reach a bigger audience. I'm not too sure specifically what yet, but if you do see some other kind of content on here, I'm just trying to get some feedback from you guys to see what you would also like to see from me besides like makeup videos. I have been trying to post TikTok reels on here as well, because that always seems to do the best. I think the algorithm pushes those shorter videos more. I don't know why, but that seems to be the case. But I will try to upload again next Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If not, I'll probably like post a reel or something. But yeah, if you do notice like the videos being inconsistent, it's just because I'm going back to school and stuff. So I just wanted to give a heads up on here, and yeah, I'll just see you guys next time. Bye.